Radio New Zealand News at 2 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Lloyd Scott. Bad weather throughout the country has forced widespread road closures and power cuts. Hundreds of homes west and north of Auckland have been without power, and the lines company Vector says its crews are working through the night to restore supply. In the North Island, two major routes, the Desert Road between Rangitaiki and Waiuru and the Rangitaiki Hill Road between Wellington and Wairarapa, are closed by snow. In the south, some roads in the Banks Peninsula region and central Otago too are closed. The Insurance Council says insurers have paid out more than $7 billion into Canterbury to settle earthquake claims. The Council's Chief Executive, Tim Grafton, says almost $5 billion has gone to commercial claimants and just over $2 billion in residential claims. Mr. Grafton says about 3,000 properties are still to be apportioned between EQC and insurers. The Justice Minister says she's heard enough about criminals' rights from lawyers like Andrew Mackenzie, who represents the serial sex offender Stuart Murray Wilson. Legislation creating new non-contact orders will be introduced to Parliament this week. The bill would apply to offenders jailed for 5 or more years and impose restrictions on where a criminal lives and works after they are released. Andrew Mackenzie has said a non-contact order that excludes an offender from an area is a breach of their right of movement under the Bill of Rights, and excluding an offender in such a way could derail their rehabilitation. Mr. Judith Collins rejected the argument.
Frankly, I've had enough of listening to people like the lawyer for the Beast of Blenheim worrying about their rights, and I am far more concerned about victims and their rights.
Judith Collins, the Justice Minister. Russia says it will not scrap plans to deliver an air defense system to Syria, despite Western opposition, because it will help deter what it calls hotheads intent on intervention in the 2-year-old conflict. It also accused the European Union of throwing fuel on the fire by letting its own arms embargo on Syria expire. Israel and France had urged Moscow to refrain from sending high-precision missile systems to President Bashar al-Assad's government, which is battling a Western and Gulf Arab-backed insurgency. Reports in the United States say Chinese hackers have gained access to the designs of more than 24 major U.S. weapons systems. The Washington Post, citing a Defense Department report, says the compromised weapons designs include those for combat aircraft and ships, as well as missile defenses for Europe, Asia, and the Gulf. The reports come as Australian media say Chinese hackers have stolen the blueprints for Australia's new spy headquarters in Canberra. The ABC Four Corners program says the attack through the computers of a construction contractor exposed not only building layers, but also the location of communication and computer networks. The Chinese government says the accusations are groundless. Sports news. Athletics New Zealand has expanded its team for this year's IAAF World Championship in Moscow in August by 3 athletes. Decathletes Brent Newdick and 10,000-metre runners Jake Robertson and Kim Smith joined the 4 previously announced team members: shot putter Valerie Adams, 1,500-metre runner Nick Wood, 50-kilometre walker Quentin Roux, and marathon runner Mary Davies. Adams begins her Diamond League campaign this weekend at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, in Oregon. And the veteran Ireland rugby centre, Brian O'Driscoll, says winning the upcoming British and Irish Lions series against Australia is crucial to the future of the side. It's been 16 years since a Lions tour enjoyed a series win following near misses against Australia in 2001 and South Africa in 2009, and a series whitewash in New Zealand in 2005. But O'Driscoll, who was also on those last 3 tours and is in this year's squad too, insists they can't afford to lose again. He believes the 2-1 series loss to South Africa 4 years ago resurrected some belief after the 3-0 loss to the All Blacks in 2005. Now let's see what's happened with the cricket. It looks as though they've resumed. The covers were put on, and they said the covers were going to come off at 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock it looks like they have. 2 o'clock here now, but 3 o'clock in England. England, 287 for 5 declared, put New Zealand in again. We are 219 for the loss of 8. wickets, but we need 249 runs to win this match, and there are only 2 wickets remaining on our side. How that goes. That's the news.
Coming up on 9 to noon today, we look at the impact of the 3 strikes law. 20 people are now on their 2nd strike, but are they the serious criminals the law was meant to target? He calls himself the Brofessor, playwright and Otago University Māori Health lecturer John Bolton, on ensuring our future doctors understand the needs of Māori.